What's up, guys? This is JST. This is just a quick one before it slipped my mind, and I figured I'd just say it out loud real quick. And it's about subjective norms on the internet and how people place value on their unwritten rules and ideals. Basically, we all know how it is. It's like if you play an online game and someone online, sorry for all the stuttering, someone online says no camping, for example. They say no camping, or no spamming, or using vehicles in a game like Halo or Battlefield is cheap, that kind of thing. You know the types, you know the kind of people that do it. And this isn't the minority, this is actually the vast majority, I'd even go as far to say. And personally, I find that quite annoying. There's nothing wrong with having preferences, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with playing the game a certain way, but there's certainly everything wrong with trying to force your ideals onto other people, because the thing is, people online, they don't care, they don't know these rules that you have. So when you send someone a message and rage about, oh, you're camping, oh, you're spamming grenades, oh, you're abusing vehicles, it's like, well, that's good for you, but I like grenades or vehicles or whatever. There's no rule in the game that says these things can't be used, because otherwise, why would it be there? People seem to claim that there's a sense of moderation, that some things are overused, but where's the moderation from? Is there a limit? Is there a minimum? You must use this a certain amount of times, but not this many times or something? Like, there's no such thing. Like, when you boot up a game, be it Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, TF2, League of Legends, StarCraft, there's no, unless the server dictates so, like it's a dedicated server with specific rules, there's nothing that says to you, you can only use this a certain amount of times, unless there are official rules within that game type. For example, you have a certain amount of respawns, or you have a certain amount of resources. Unless there's something like that, then unwritten rules just do not have a place in online gameplay, and I do not agree with anybody who seems to force that on others. I just don't think it's right. I mean, a speech like this would come off being like a small voice in a sea of complaining, because I would say the definite vast majority of people force subjective norms and unwritten rules all the time. So someone who says something common sense like, why does that matter? Just play the game. If you don't like it, don't play the game. People like that just get silenced pretty much, because too many people enjoy, forcing these subjective norms on people, and I feel like it'll make a difference. And it's the number one source of complaining and eventual nerfs and patches and buffs to anything from an RTS to a fighting game, and it happens all the time. Personally, I just don't agree with it, and it's why the Battlefield 3 rent-a-server system was, in my opinion, so flawed, because it took the power of these subjective norms, which meant no more than an argument, and basically created it created internet politics into real in-game laws. People could dictate how anything goes. They can say no camping, no shotguns, no vehicles, no explosives, no knives, nothing. They could pretty much give you this list of things that you can't do. If you do any of them, you'll get banned. Even if you don't do any of them, you'll get banned, because the system that the rent-a-server admins use, at least all the corrupt ones, is completely wrong, and that's completely different podcast to say altogether, so I'm not going to go into that. However, it's the same thing. Just imagine giving the power to somebody who isn't like doing this for like a private match within friends, but giving it to somebody on the large scale, giving them the power to dictate, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. Then it then becomes their game. A game like Battlefield is no longer Battlefield if you can't use explosives or vehicles. What's the point? How are you going to give air support? How are you going to export your troops? How are you going to anti-air vehicles? How are you going to take care of incoming tanks if you can't use explosives? How are you going to win a CQB fight, a close quarters battle against somebody, if you're not allowed to knife them? Or what if you want to assassinate somebody? You get the picture. And also, the no shotguns rule is silly. If I see a rent-a-server with that rule, I'll probably just leave, because it's like, why is this person gonna try and tell me how to play the game? If there's definitely no other server working, then certainly I will leave. But something like that is absurd. And you probably never see a rent-a-server in Call of Duty for a lot of reasons, but not because they don't like giving people choice. That's what private matches are for. Because in the first place, I love the idea of private match, because you can easily make anything you want. You can easily just get a couple friends together, or people you've invited online, maybe through a forum, and just make any kind of custom game you want. You know, set the rules, say, okay, knives only, go. Like, because now in Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, you can, like, depict, I want this. Like, for example, I made a knifing only match, just knives only, and, the perks needed to knives. I haven't done it in Black Ops yet, but I probably will. So that kind of thing. So, like, knives only match, pistols only, that kind of thing. Or just play party games. You got Sticks and Stones in Black Ops 2, you got, gun game in both Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, that kind of thing. So all these are good fun where there are set rules. But other than that, I'm just going to say this to you now. Never, ever let anybody online tell you how to play. Not in an RTS, not in a shooter, not in a fighting game. There is no official rule saying, unless there's like a ban, like for example, Meta Knight's banned in tournaments in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Unless there's an unofficial rule saying you cannot use so-and-so weapon, so-and-so character, or so-and-so equipment, don't listen to anybody. Nobody has a right to tell you what to use, how to play, what to do. None of that. Unwritten rules and subjective norms should be kept to oneself. That's the bottom line. So, thanks for listening.